So, oh, we're recording now. Thank you, Peter. Um, so Peter Brooks oversees all of our customer service trainings, and he's been doing this for longer than I have been working for Lehi City. He is well versed in customer service and always has great information to share with us. So they do ask that everyone have their cameras on during this meeting. That way we can see that you're actively participating since you are getting paid. I know it's not fun, but look, there's like 100 of us in this meeting and no one's paying attention to what you're doing. Also, Peter's going to share his screen so you'll see his screen on there, and it'll just show that you're actually working and not just sleeping through this meeting. But yeah, feel free, make sure to participate. Peter will, in the past at least, he's done a couple breakout sessions where it'll break us into rooms. Make sure to participate in that and just make fun of this, like make fun with this today, not fun of it. But anyway, Peter, anything else? Oh, again, just since there's more people who are joining, if you haven't added your name to the chat, make sure to do that. And then we'll have you do it again at the end. That way we know that you were here for the whole time. That's just the best way we found to get everyone paid. So with further ado, I'll turn the time over to Peter.
You give it to me. I'm the guy wearing the Aloha shirt and the sunglasses because today I'm going to take you to Hawaii. All expenses paid. This is one of the most favorite things that I do is this customer service training. And I always ask Dan every year, why do we have to do this? Because every time I come to the Legacy Center, I feel like you guys care about me. It's just natural for you, and which I really appreciate. Today's whole theme is live aloha. And I'm going to take you to Hawaii. Oh, just a minute. Did I just lose you? Hang on a sec. Hang on a sec. This is where I grew up. When I was 11 years old, my folks moved me to Hawaii, and I absolutely love Waikiki. And not only Waikiki, but I love everything about Hawaii. There are many islands in Hawaii, but we moved to the island of Oahu on the North Shore in a little town called Laie, which is between Kahuku and Hauula. If you've gone to Punalu'u and Ka'ava, you've gone too far. Laie is where the temple is. It's where the Polynesian Cultural Center is. And it is one of the most beautiful places in the world. The things that I love about Hawaii, of course, the scenery. You should be already sold that Hawaii is just absolutely beautiful. I love getting on Diamond Head and looking east and looking at the wonderful beach. This is the famous Waikiki Beach. I love the food. No, it may look a little bad for you, but it is really yummy, especially the bowl in the back. That's poi. Yummy, especially if you eat it with kalua pork. Leonard's Bakery. You must go to Leonard's Bakery and get a malasada. You will die. You think the Lehi Bakery is good? These things will knock your socks off. I love the Hawaiian music. This is Israel Kamaka Viva Ole. He is one of the most famous guys that sang Hawaiian music. I love that. I love hula and the gracefulness of hula. I love the waterfalls, especially after it rains in Hawaii. It just becomes an absolute paradise. If you want to go snorkeling, you want to go to Hanama Bay, where the fish, you're not allowed to kill the fish, but you can watch them. Absolutely love it. Bodyboarding, no, that is not me. I am not that good. Wonderful thing to do. I love going to Pearl Harbor and reminiscing about the things there, the stadium and all the great things that are there. I even like going to church in Hawaii. No, this is not a religious class, but this is our last day in Hawaii, and they gave us leis as we were going away here. And most of all, what I love about Hawaii are the people, because they have what is called the aloha spirit. I went to a high school called Kahuku High School. It's on the North Shore. Great football team. In fact, as of October 30th, just a little plug here, they are number 8 in the nation. This is good. Let's see what happened last night. Maybe they lost last night. Today's theme is to live aloha. And to teach this theme, I'm going to introduce you to 5 principles that I want you to kind of get in your head and in your heart. The A of aloha stands for attitude, the thing that you can control the most. The L, listening to our customers and to your fellow workers. The O, observing, paying attention, watching. H, always being ready to offer help. And the last A is aloha, love in this particular case. I love Disney, and I'm going to steal their ideas every year. They've got some definitions that are just wonderful. They don't call people customers, they call them guests. kind of change the whole attitude of the way you treat people if you call them a guest. You're not an employee anymore. All of you today are cast members. You don't have a job anymore. You have a role. No matter where you are in the Legacy Center, you have a role that you're doing. Your uniform, it's your costume. When you're in the guest area, you are on stage. Very important that you be in character at all times. The products and services that we offer at the Legacy Center, there are attractions. Now, just a few things, a little housekeeping here. You need to, when you come in, go down to the chat button, and you're going to sign in at the beginning of today, and then at the end of David Kitchen's presentation, you're going to just go type your name in there, first and last name, so you can get time and paid for today. If you don't mind renaming yourself, sometimes it says Peter's iPhone or Mom's iPhone. Put your first and last name there so that if I can talk to you, I know who you are. I want you to show your live face rather than having your name on a black screen. Thank you, Brittany, for being my guinea pig on this one. I keep muted. Everybody's muted right now, but you are going to be participating, and I do want you to talk in just a minute when I ask you to. There's a time when I'm going to have you raise your hands, and you do that at the bottom of your screen under participants, and you raise your hand here. You just click on the icon, and a little blue hand comes up, and that's how I know that you're going to be participating with me. So you have an assignment right this minute. Get ready. This is not to sit around and listen to Peter Brooks entertain you all day. This is for you to kind of do things today. Step number one, take a little break, get a pen and a paper, and I want you to get ready to write something down right now. It could be a small paper. It could be an 8.5 by 11. Get something to write on, because I'm going to have you write something. Okay, next step down. I need you to print your name at the top of the paper, because at the end of class, you're going to be turning these in. Well, not today, but when you go back and work your next shift, you're going to be giving them to your supervisor, and you're going to want to give them to your supervisor, and you'll find out why in just a minute. Then on this, I want you to write these 5 letters, A-L-O-H-A. You already know what the definitions are, and you're going to be writing the definitions in just a minute. So sheet of paper, name up top, A-L-O-H-A. And now what I want you to do is I want you to hold your screen, your paper up to the screen, so I can see that everybody has a paper. Do this for me so I can see you. Good, you're getting there. Good, thank you, thank you, thank you. Good, there's 100 people here. Oh, thank goodness I'm not gun shy here. Very good. Okay, put the papers down. We are back to my little screen here. Just a minute. Here we go. Okay, today, after today's presentation, and when you go back on your next, when you go back to work again, you're going to give this sheet to your supervisor filled out, and I'll give you the answers to the test in a minute, and you're going to get a free gift card. And I'm not going to tell you what that gift card is yet, but it's worth $5. So, I mean, it's a gift card to something, right? So you're welcome. You can thank me now, or you can thank me later. Today, I am introducing a person named Bethany Hamilton. She is a professional surfer. The picture is a real picture of Bethany. She's probably in her 30s or 40s right now. She is missing her left arm. Bethany lived and still lives on the island of Kauai in the Hawaiian chain. This is her at about age 13. Bethany loved to surf with her friend Alana. In fact, I'm sure she was in the ocean every day. One day, Bethany and Alana went surfing on Kauai. And yes, Hawaii is that beautiful. Gross picture, close your eyes. Bethany was attacked by a 15-foot tiger shark, and the shark bit off her left arm. Now, how did we get this picture? This is from the movie they made about her life. She ended up in the hospital. Look at the smile on her face. This is an incredible woman. She's my hero. She had a good attitude, even in the hospital. The shark was caught. This is the actual shark that did it. That's 15 feet of shark. And by the way, for you environmentalists out there that are with me, sharks are not bad. Okay, the sharks were just doing what sharks do. And sharks go make baby sharks, and then they go bite off people's arms. That's what sharks do. They're not bad. Bethany went surfing shortly after her accident, and she entered many surfing contests, even though she lost an arm. And she wrote a book, which is a wonderful book. It's a heroic tale of survival against the odds. In 2011, Hollywood made a movie. It was called Soul Surfer. inspiring true story of Bethany Hamilton. The actors were Anna Sophia Robb as Bethany and Dennis Quaid as her father and Helen Hunt as her mother. These guys are my age. They look incredible. I don't want to see this picture anymore. Carrie Underwood was also in the movie, and notice that the green cast on Bethany's arm, that's for the green screen effect so that they could show that she was missing her arm. Absolutely a great movie. She continued to inspire and surf and just continue growing up and surfing until 2012 when she met Adam Dirks. Can you see where this is going? The couple married in 2013 on an estate in Kauai. Everyone is happy. Even the dog approved of this. That's Bethany's parents to the next of her. She got pregnant, and while expecting, she continued to surf. They had a baby boy in 2015. I bet you this kid loved the ocean. Oh, that's what the slide says. This boy liked the ocean. True statement. The baby got bigger. She got pregnant again and had a second child. For you moms out there, can you imagine raising a child with just one arm? Amazing girl. So there she is with baby boy number 2. Again, good attitude, good couple. They had a third child in 2021, and she continued to surf and do it with one arm. And for you folks that have not been in the ocean, even getting out to the wave is, you got to have 2 hands because the ocean is so incredibly powerful. She made a movie called Unstoppable about her life. And she has a website that you need to go to. Well, you don't have to now, but BethanyHamilton.com. She continues to inspire people. And she is just an ambassador of goodwill around the world. So why do I bring her up in a customer service class? Well, you're going to learn a little bit more about Bethany's life. Watch this 1 and 30-second video about her life. And pay attention at the very beginning. When she was young, she kind of slurred a little bit, her speech. But the guy interviewing her says, "Are you going to go surfing again?" Listen to Bethany in this little clip here.
You think you're going to surf again?
I think. I know.
I looked down and her arm was gone. Heaviest moment of my life.
Bethany was back on her board 4 weeks later.
When she was coming back to compete, we were all jaw-dropped.
The moment she paddled out, everybody on the beach was just spellbound. Nobody thought it was possible.
God gave me this passion to surf, and it wasn't like that passion had been taken too.
How she's been able to adapt and be the powerhouse that she is, I don't know how she does it.
She trained her butt off.
It takes a lot of strength and willpower to get that one success.
It was May 31st. I started to go in labor. I've always looked forward to being a mom one day.
Nothing was slowing her down.
Tonight she is wowing the world all over again.
For her to take down 2 world champs, the current world champ and a 6-time world champ, is pretty rad.
Bethany showing people what she's capable of sends a message.
She just makes everybody inspired.
I didn't need easy, I just needed possible.
I didn't need easy, I just needed possible. We show her in the beginning because the first step in any kind of human interaction, especially customer service, is your attitude. So on your sheet of paper, right? Attitude. That's the answer to number 1, attitude. It's the way of thinking or feeling, and it's reflected in your behavior. People know that if you have a good attitude by the words that come out of your mouth and what you do when you are with other people. It's almost obvious that this is the first thing in having a good relationship with people. It's the starting point with any kind of relationship you have, whether it be people at work, whether the guests that come into the Legacy Center, or the people that you love and that are in your life. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to turn off my screen for just a minute, and you're going to answer this one question. Write this down on your sheet of paper. How can I control my attitude? Okay, and I'm going to divide you up into a bunch of teams, and these are my team names. You don't have to remember the team names, but you're going to be broken up into groups here, and I want you to answer that one question. How can you control your attitude? Now, when it comes on your screen, you have to decide whether you're going to join the group or not. please join the group. It is fun when we do this, and we like doing this kind of stuff. I'm going to divide you to groups of 10 and 10 different groups, and you answer the one question as a group. Now, the first thing, when you get together as a 10, choose one of you to be the spokesman, because I'm going to have you come back and you're going to tell me what you learned and all that kind of good stuff. So I'm breaking you out. Be a team player, go to your room, and enjoy this assignment. How can I control my attitude is what I need you to ask and answer. And I'll be back in a minute to come get you.
Peter, good morning.
Hello there.
You see the message I sent you in the chat? You may not have.
No. Hang on a second.
We are capped at attendance today at 100.
Yes.
And Brittany lost her Wi-Fi connection and is unable to rejoin. So you and I are managing the rest of the meeting.
She warned me.
Okay.
This happens at the last meeting of every year.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Super. Okay. Thank you, David.
Yep.
Okay, folks, 1 minute. Welcome back. Half of you are almost here. Thank you for doing that. We don't have room or time to do all 10 groups, but we do have time to start with group number 7. Did it come up on the screen what group you were in? Who's the spokesman for group number 7?
I am.
Who's I am?
It should say Ashley Bowis Perry, but
That is
I
the
couldn't find it.
longest name, Ashley. Ashley.
Oh my goodness, it logged me into the wrong account.
No.
And I can't change it because it's not my account.
It's good. Can I call you Ashley?
Yes, please do.
Ashley, what'd you guys talk about? How do you do customer service? How do you control attitude? Give me 3. Give me at least 3.
About before we enter our shift, we have to change our mindset, and so we talked about meditation, but then also like looking at the other person's perspective and taking the time to calm down if something happens.
Good.
And just making sure that we're seeing things from their point of view.
That is one of the biggest skills that you could learn. Wonderful. Thank you very much. Group number 2, your spokesman, please.
That would be me.
Cammie.
Yes,
Cammie,
how are you?
I only look at you on screens. I see you on screen all the time.
Yeah, well, that's bound to happen.
Cammie, talk to us about attitude.
Okay, so we had some really good input. These are just a couple of things I jotted down. So one was to think of others first, kind of put yourself in their situation, which has already kind of been said. And then just take a minute to breathe. That was a good one. Like take a minute to just like, okay, let me, before you react. And then choosing to be positive and see the positive instead of the negative. That also helps create a positive outcome usually. And then let's see, overcoming challenges in your life also helps you become more, have a more positive attitude because you've learned from experience.
Nice.
And then also to find the humor in different situations. So sometimes there's some humor and you can laugh about something and have a good attitude.
You've got to have that attitude. That is just wonderful. I'm going to do 2 more groups. Group number 9, you're a winner. Who's in group number 9? Please confess. Who's talking?
Tammy Blake.
Hello, Tammy Blake. Talk to us, Tammy.
Yeah, so we were discussing, and most of the things that the people said already, we discussed during our in a group. But also we said have a positive attitude and keep control of the situation, being patient, and also stay calm if you have to, if you have a challenge.
Oh, especially when you have a challenge. Thank you very much, Tammy. And our last winning group is group number 10. You thought you were off the hook. Group 10. Who's the spokesman? Person. Spokewoman? Spokeman. Come on, group 10. You got along. You loved each other. Okay, no confessions there. Let's go to group number 1 then. Group number 1.
That is I.
Aiden, and you were here early. You get extra points and blessings from heaven.
Yeah.
Keep Aiden.
Okay, so one of the main points that we talked about was having a positive mindset. So, you're coming to work and you're just looking at the bright side and, hey, I'm getting paid. I'm here with the people that I know. At least I'm not, doing this or that. At least I'm inside, for example, Having that positive mindset is really going to affect how you treat the guests, and it's really going to reflect who you are as a person. And if they can tell that you're being genuine, that's really good.
Excellent. Yep. Oh, you guys all get an A. This is like the AP class of customer service today. You guys get it. Think about your life. Think about what's going on in the world right now, not only in Lehi and Utah County and Utah, but the world. A lot of things you can't control, but you can always control you. And so that's where you start. That's where we're going to start in customer service, as you start there. Hang on a sec. Let's carry on here. Okay. Push play. All right. We are back to my screen. Why is my, okay. Oh, hang on a sec. Okay, good. We're here now. Okay. Number 2, get out your sheet of paper and write the word listen. You already know what the next 3 are going to be, right? But listening is a real interesting skill. Most of us are so eager to talk and tell people what we feel that we fail to open up the 2 ears that God has given us and listen to what people are saying. Not only to the workers that you're working with, but to our guests also. Watch this short little clip. This is Brittany. She was... Bethany was invited to go on to KTLA in Los Angeles. Listen to how well they listened to her. I want you to pay attention on this one. I'm not dividing you into groups, but I want you to tell me what good listening skills you see in this video.
Bethany Hamilton is here, the fearless and unstoppable soul surfer who turned a life-changing incident into being an inspirational icon for so many. Nice to have you here this morning.
Thank you.
Good to have you back. You were here as a teenager, and your life has changed and grown and matured, and we have remained as childlike as ever. Mother of 2.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm busy.
Right. How is that? A 4-year-old and a 1-year-old.
Yeah, it's been really fun. I would say like the first few months adjusting to 2, it felt like big, but it's going good now.
Right.
They're like doing somersaults off the bed onto the like floor. It's real fun.
And then do they, this phrase just comes to mind, I think of water babies, little kids who can swim. Do they have an interest in the water like mom does?
Yeah, they both are like little mermen. Really? My older boy is into surfing, so that's really fun for me because I'm like, let's go surf the real waves together.
And I was thinking this when Mark was doing that forecast. When you decide today's a surfing day, do you pay attention to the weather forecast?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm always looking up at least the surf forecast. So you're like, you can find out how it's like. I think it's kind of fun today.
What makes a good day?
Well, you want size and good winds, and sunshine's a bonus, but not necessarily necessary. So.
Okay, just a little bit of clip there. What a happy person she is here. What I want you to do right now is go into the chat portion again, where you signed in and stuff like that. And what did you see there? What is a good listener and why? And I'm going to read some of the things that you are writing into the chat thing. What is a good listener? Wonderful answers coming up already. Asking questions shows that you are listening. Eye contact shows that you are listening. Engaging with people is listening. They hear the answer and ask follow-up questions to get more detail. That is listening. Nodding, that's listening too. I like these answers. Positivity, being positive, asking questions. We did that one too. Clarifying the questions, smiling, asking for clarification. That's good. So if you're talking to somebody and you don't understand everything that they're asking for, they say, what do you mean by that? Acknowledging the questions with verbal and nonverbal clues, paying attention to the details. I can't take any more answers. Stop talking to me in chat. This is wonderful. You guys get it. Listening is really more important than speaking. We want you to be the best listeners that you can when you're working with your customers and you're working with each other here. Third, observation. Get out your piece of paper and write the word observe. This is going to be the hardest test of the day. I want you to watch the next video, and you're going to take a quiz thereafter. And I'm going to ask you 4 questions to see if you are being observant. Now, most of the people get the answers right. Most people do. That's because I'm telling them to be observant. You want to be observant all the time. You want it to be a natural thing. I know that the lifeguards, for example, have to be extra vigilant and observant, but everybody in every department needs to be observant to what is going on with your guests and with each other here. So watch this video, only 47 seconds long. Act like a detective, be observant, and get ready to take my quiz. Quiz time. All right, this is fun. Hang on a sec. I need to come back here, and we're going to do quiz number 1. What was the color of the umbrella or parasol in the beginning of the video? Please answer the question immediately. We've got some real sleuths here, some real detectives. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Share results. Yellow. Good job. 65% of you saw that the parasol was yellow. 2 out of you thought it was green. 20 thought it was blue. 9 of you were pink. Don't cry. Okay. It's okay. We're going to stop sharing. We're going to do another quiz right now because that was too easy for you. Okay. Quiz number 2. What instruments did you see? Violin, ukulele, harp, or guitar? By the way, you could do 2, 3, or 4 of these if you'd like. This is a multiple choice question. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. Share results. Violin, 80% of you got that one right. Harp, 82% of you got that right. Ukulele, you guys just were thinking because Hawaii that it was ukulele. There was no ukulele there. But you want to be in Hawaii with me. I know that. And the guitar, you just probably play a guitar, and that's what you think is the coolest thing. Question number 3. You will not get this one. Oops. Oh, wait just a minute. Okay. Oh, okay. Hang on a sec. Don't leave me. Oh, okay. I want to do this one again. Okay. Okay. How many children? Can you see the question on your screen? Hang on a sec. Be patient. Be patient. Okay, just a minute. I know what I am doing. Okay, stop sharing. Okay. Okay. All right. Relaunch poll. Here we go. How many children were dropping flowers on the path? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5? You got to be good on this one. Good. You're not getting it. Aha. I got a hard question for you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Share results. The answer was 4. 25 out of 90 people in this room got the question right. By the way, I will prove this in just a minute when I'm done after doing my last question here. Okay, here's this easy one here for you. Bridesmaids. What was the color of the bridesmaids' dresses? Yellow, green, blue, or white? Oh, this one's too easy. I should have done it hard. Like I should have said, how many people did you count? You know, something like that. And I'm going to end the poll. Actually, it was blue. Oh, so there. Hang on a sec. Let me prove to you that you were paying attention. Again, being observant is key here. What was the color of the umbrella? There is proof. It was yellow. There was only one umbrella in the whole thing. But again, being observant, by the way, I don't mean to be sarcastic. Being observant sometimes is hard. Musical instruments, only a violin and a harp. No ukulele. There should have been, in my opinion, but I was not invited to the wedding. So the reason that this question was kind of hard was because look at number 4 there. Clinging to dad's leg, doesn't want to pass out flowers, wants to leave, wants to go get a piece of cake. There was 4. And blue, that's what the bridesmaids looked like. They were blue. Nice job, guys and gals. You got it. H, help. A customer service person, which you are. We are only in business because we are blessed to have people come into the Legacy Center. Your job is to help. Write that on your paper. That's the H, to be helpful. I'm going to show you a quick little 39-second video, and I'm going to ask you a question thereafter about being helpful.
My dad makes my handles. I remember when I was first struggling to duck dive and just get out through beach breaks. He was watching me struggle, and he noticed the lifeguards had handles on their boards. He was like, okay, I'm gonna try to make you a handle. And then we get our supplies from Surf Co Hawaii. They have these leash plugs for boards that don't come with a leash plug, and we just stick it on, and then get fisherman's surgical tube, and then rope, and it's really easy. Put it on in 10, 15.
Bethany Hamilton is just so pleasant all the time. And in this particular case, she had trouble doing what was called duck diving. And that is when you want your surfboard to go under the wave, not on it or above it. You want to duck down and stuff when you do it. And so her dad was very helpful. On this particular one, I want you to use the raise your hand feature in just a minute, and then I'm going to call you, okay? It's on the bottom of your screen there where you're going to raise your hand. And I want you to raise your hand and give me, if you can, some real examples of when you see someone going the extra mile and being helpful at the Legacy Center. So try to, before I let you loose and you raise your hand, where have you seen in the Legacy Center people being really helpful? I'm going to stop sharing my screen now so you can start raising your hands right now. Give me some examples and use the raise your hand feature so I can call on you. An example of somebody in the Legacy Center, including yourself, being very helpful. Go ahead and start participating. You're number one. I don't know your name, but I do know you go to the Cedar Pass First Ward. You may talk.
Okay, so whenever I go in, I see people at the front desk, and people are always asking, you know, where is itty bitty ball, or where is this? And the front desk staff is always really good to direct them where to go, or actually take them where they need to go so that they don't get lost.
Good, good. That's the starting point of the Legacy Centers. You people at the front desk, you're really important. Thank you very much. Jocelyn, you're up number two.
Yes, I work in the morning with a lady, Jessica E., who speaks Spanish, and she is always so helpful to come at a moment's notice and do translating for our speaking patrons. And she's always very cheerful and happy to do it.
I like that attitude of seeing a need and then being helpful. Very good. A couple more. Becky Spencer and Aubrey Gardner Group.
I was going to say like holding the door open for people. So
Good.
yes.
I didn't know you guys did that. That is a very good habit to have. Very good. Couple more. Leslie Naren. Leslie, do you know how to unmute yourself?
There we go. Sorry,
Good.
I couldn't see. I got two screens going. Last week, I'm a swim instructor, and one of the other instructors came up to me after and was like, hey, I have this student that I know that you've had in a previous class, and I'm kind of struggling with this. Like, how would you, how did you work with him on this or whatever? And I just thought it was really proactive and helpful for her to like see that one of her students had a need and try like actively seek on her own time to get some resolution to that or to help him and be a better teacher.
That is a good answer. And I like the key word you use right there is actively seek. Have you guys noticed that all these are connected? Attitude, listening, being helpful, all this stuff is just all connected. One more comment, Ashley Harvey, take us home.
Last week I was talking to someone and she said that somebody got their drink stuck in the vending machine and they were complaining and saying that they wanted like a refund, and she was trying to explain to them that we don't own the vending machines and so she couldn't do that. And they were like, well, just get me a drink at center court. And she was like, well, we can't do that, like, and trying to explain. And they started getting angry and complaining that the customer service was so terrible.
Oh no.
And so she like went over and used her own money and bought them a drink and gave it.
No way.
And I thought that was really sweet that she did that. She could have gotten like grumpy and been like, whatever, we try.
Listen.
But she like went over and did that.
I love that story. That's a great ending story. All of your answers were wonderful. I am absolutely amazed that when it comes to being helpful, it's the little things that matter, believe it or not. Well, we're not asking you to save a life. Well, lifeguards, yes, we are asking you to save a life. But in most cases, it's the little things like that that make a lasting impression on people. Nice answers, guys and gals. We're going to go to the last one now. A for aloha, love. On your piece of paper, write aloha or love. Aloha has many meanings, and my favorite meaning is the meaning of love. Because in Hawaii, again, we all need to go to Hawaii. I'll talk to Dan Harrison to see if we could do this next year in Hawaii. Probably won't happen though. But anyway, what is the spirit of aloha? What is it really like?
Aloha to me is the spirit of aloha, the call of aloha.
Always being in that good mood, always having that smile on your face.
Aloha is something that you experience.
For me, it's just a feeling.
Saying hi and of course thank you is really about that sense of welcome. Here in Hawaii, you run into the people who are local. There's such a warm, inviting feeling. You're in one of the most beautiful places in the world, and it's a feeling, it's a vibe, it's an action, and it's really the idea of being friendly and being warm and inviting.
Oh, I hate that video. I hate that video because I want to go back to Hawaii like right now, especially as it's getting cold. Warm and friendly. You could do that. Again, it starts with your attitude, right? And listening and observing and helping and doing everything that it takes to have this aloha spirit. Treat everybody like your ohana, your family, with affection, compassion, mercy, kindness, grace, and all these wonderful things here. Our last clip is of the younger Bethany telling us something important.
Yeah, we all go through hard times in our life, and, it might not necessarily be losing your arm to a shark. Maybe it just struggles in school or family issues or whatever it is. Don't give up. Just find your passions and your joys and things that motivate you and inspire you to live a full life, and shoot for those and keep pushing forward towards the light at the end of the tunnel, and rather than giving up.
She's a nice gift to have for us, but you get more than her as a gift. Your gift today is this: is what your sheet should look, by the way. And again, when you go to your next shift, turn your sheet into your supervisor, because they're going to hand you a business card size coupon for Pioneer Market. Kohler's Market, it's now Pioneer Market. And it's a $5 gift card to spend on anything in the market. And the instructions on how to use it are on the back side right here. But everybody gets one for coming today. It expires on December 31st, so you may want to use it before December 31st. Folks, I love being with you. I just am absolutely impressed with the folks that work at Lehi Legacy Center. You do a wonderful job. I've been doing this for 15 years before some of you were born. And I am still amazed at the level of aloha that's in the Legacy Center. I love coming there as a patron because you folks do care. And I really do appreciate you caring. I'll make you this promise. You have this customer service attitude. You're going to have a much wonderful time in this job at the Legacy Center. We realize that not all of you are going to live at the Legacy Center the rest of your life. So you can have other jobs and other relationships in your life. But the way you treat each other, it just makes for a wonderful aloha type of life. My part is done now. It's been a pleasure being with all of you. I'm going to give some controls over to David Kitchen. So David, you can take it from here and do what you do best.
Thank you, Peter. It's good to be with you all this morning. Like Peter said, this is one of my favorite trainings of the year. We do this 4 times a year, and it's always great to be with you. I have a especially fond heart for people at the Legacy Center that work the night crew, because my wife and I usually get to walk there 2 or 3 times a week. And usually we start about 9 o'clock, maybe a little bit later, and we're there till after 10. So if you're the night crew at the Legacy Center, thank you. It's wonderful. Also wanted to give a shout out to the new employees that are going to work at the ice rink. So I don't know if you're all aware, but Lehigh City is going to have an ice rink this winter. And we're going to open the day before Thanksgiving. And it will go until, I believe, February 1st or sometime there in February. And it's going to be an outdoor rink at the sports park. And so it's non-weather dependent, which means you can skate whether it's snowing, whether it's warm, whatever that is, whether it's sun shining. And so I understand that many of those people are with us today. It's a joint venture between our parks operations and recreation. Shout out to Jessica Worthen, who's managing that. And so welcome to all of those who are on the call. And if you want to go skating, please do. I think it starts the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. So with that said, my portion is more about respect in the workplace. And my job at Lehi City is to do trainings, to talk to employees, to talk to managers, and to share a little bit of what I think would make everybody a happy and productive employee. And so I'm gonna be a little bit personal this year because, and let me share my screen. Let's see. Okay, so this is a fabulous picture of me on my best days of the week. And there's a birthday cake on screen because I also am celebrating a monumental birthday this year. It was earlier in the year, but we're just gonna pretend that I'm having another birthday because birthdays are awesome. And as I thought about birthdays, I thought, okay, when I blow out my candles, what do I want my birthday wish to be? And of course, I think about my job all the time, right? And so I think my birthday wish is going to be something for you at the Legacy Center or at the outdoor pool or wherever you work. And so as I thought about it, and I thought, okay, this comes to mind. Okay, let's see if I can get this to work. Okay, I want employees of the Legacy Center to communicate and appreciate with respect and empathy. So if you want to take notes, you can write this down. But I thought of these 4 words, 4 verbs or adverbs to, I think this sets you up for success. Communication, appreciation, respect, and empathy. And then I thought, well, wouldn't it be easier to remember this if it's somehow tied into something, right? And so I thought about it, and then I thought, oh, wait, C-A-R-E, that spells a word, right? So that spells care. So I want you to care as employees of Lehi City. So I want you to communicate, appreciate, respect, and empathy. So this kind of ties off or starts off the theme for today. And we're going to talk about these 4 words and what they mean and the expectations we have for you as employees. But you're more than employees, you're people, right? You're human beings with emotions and everything. And so that's fully part of this training, is to be human and to be yourself. And so this is an actual picture from Halloween of me and my family. And we were Care Bears. And we each, I forgot the name of my bear, but it just fits in perfectly with the Care Bears. If you watched the cartoon as a kid, or if you know what I'm talking about, they were a fun-loving group of bears that they did wonderful things for people, and just made the world brighter every day, right, through their Care Bear stare. Okay, so let's jump into the first one, communicate. C is for communication. Communication involves 2 things. Communication involves the message that you share, but also how you communicate, or the method. And so when you're communicating about all kinds of things during the workday, right? You're seeing, if you work at the front desk, how many people are coming in, or information you're sharing. If you're working at the registration desk, what about classes, what price? If you're working in fitness, what kind of equipment that you can use, how to help people reach their goals. If you're going to work at the ice rink, how to skate safely, right? And so, but as an employee, you're also communicating what you need as a human being, what you need, your shift schedule, or training that you need, or equipment that you need, right? And also what you want. We also want to be aware of what you want as an employee. Do you want training? Do you want something from your supervisor? Do you want something from a coworker? All kinds of things. And also how you communicate really matters. And so I found this chart on the upcoming slide about kind of different ways of communicating. Each way of communicating has a different strength. Okay. Actually, before we get there, I found this quote by the Queen of Jordan. We are stronger when we listen and smarter when we share. Let that sink in. We are stronger when we listen and smarter when we share. So communication also includes listening, and it includes, listening to what other people are trying to communicate as well. Okay, so this chart, there's a lot of colors, and you may not be able to see this if you're on your phone, but on the left-hand side are different goals of communication, whether you want to communicate quickly with someone, if you want to reach a lot of people, if you want to resolve frustration, if you want to build trust, if you want to share detailed information. And across the top, there's different columns, such as face-to-face communication, like we're doing now, an audio call, phone or VoIP, if you know what that means, congratulations. Picking up the phone and calling someone, a video call like this, email, or chat. And so my questions to you, I'm not going to do a poll, but in the chat, go ahead and answer which method of communication would you prefer if you wanted to get your work schedule, which shifts you're supposed to work, what hours, what days, what do you think the best way to communicate that would be? Some of you say chat, some of you say face-to-face, email. Okay. Yep. Keep going. Email. I would say the most likely information or good information is either an email where it's written down information, you can refer back to it later. Maybe it's a chat, as long as it's a longer chat and you can provide maybe a link to information. Sometimes a call, face-to-face. Yes, I can understand that if you want a direct answer, that makes sense too. Okay, what if you have a you're working and you see something with a coworker and you're like, that kind of made me uncomfortable. It's not a big deal. I don't want to make a mess of it. But what communications that would be best to resolve that issue with a coworker? Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of face-to-face. Exactly. Right. As we know, the communication, there's a lot of communication that's actually comes through nonverbal communication. So just on the phone, you can say things, but there's also things that come through your body language, right? This is a great line from Ursula. Body language really matters, okay? And yeah, maybe not in front of everybody else, exactly. Okay, what if you're a supervisor and you want to get a message out to all the team at the same time? You don't have a lot of time, you don't want to send individual messages, you don't want to knock on their door and have a face-to-face conversation with everybody. But what if you're a supervisor and you want to get out important information all at once? Email, chat, group me. Yeah, okay. If you have a group chat, that would work too, right? But acknowledging that different ways of communication have different goals of communication have different ways, right? And so, okay, the last one, what if you want to let's see, think of a scenario here, put me on the spot. What if you become sick and you're not able to work your shift? What's a method of communication that would be effective for you? Okay. A text, a call, going in person and making them sick as well. Just kidding, not really, right? Okay. Yeah. So what I'm trying to train here is be intentional with your communication style, right? Several of you probably feel most comfortable not having face-to-face conversation. Okay. We do a lot of chat back and forth, texting back and forth. And sometimes that makes, especially those of you in the younger generation, not trying to be stereotypical here, but you grew up with phones of texting and that's your preferred communication, right? But just be aware that that may not help you reach all of your communication goals if you're just texting, okay? My wish is that you have the ability to have face-to-face communication if you need it, to use other methods, okay? So C is for communication. Everybody got that? Awesome. Okay, so the next one, if I have this set up. Okay, so communicating, we're gonna practice in the chat box because you guys are all great at using that. Share one thing that you're grateful for today. Share one thing that you are grateful for today in the chat. Family, your bed, sunshine, food, football, health, your Jeep, your dog, your pets, cats. Awesome. Ohio State football. Okay, we have a Buckeyes fan out there. Okay, our minds. There's so many different things. Oh, Peter, you got a shout out from Cami. Congratulations. Expressing gratitude does so many things for us. And so I'm actually this segues nicely into our next one. We talk about appreciate, right? Appreciation is commonly, it can mean many things, but the most common meaning is to express gratitude, okay? And so I did this on purpose because I wanted you to express gratitude for something in your life that makes a difference for you. Okay, so this expressing gratitude, saying thank you to people. Please say thank you to coworkers. Please say thank you to patrons. Please say thank you to your parents. Please say thank you to your teachers. They put in a lot of hard work and effort into helping you. Okay, and so it always feels good to receive those appreciation efforts. Okay, but and before I get to the other half of the slide, we're going to read this quote by an author. She says, "Gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow." If you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling frustrated, if you're feeling like, I don't know what to do, please express gratitude in some way, shape, or form. Maybe it's to a close friend, maybe it's to your parents, maybe it's to your coworker, but remember to express gratitude, to show appreciation, okay? But appreciation means more. Oops, I forgot. I'm going to go anyways, okay? Appreciation also means something else. Do you have any real estate agents out there or appraisers or anybody that works in real estate? If your home value, if your house value, property value appreciates, what does that mean? What does it mean to appreciate home value? Okay, it's increasing in value. Thanks, Robert. Kind of put it on screen for you. So how do we appreciate ourselves? Meaning, how do we increase the value of ourselves? How do we increase the value of others? Okay. So this quote from Robin Sharma: "Investing in yourself is the best investment you will ever make. It will not only improve your life, it will improve the lives of all those around you." So how do we do this? How do we increase the value of ourselves? Well, first thing is you need to stretch yourselves. You need to challenge. You need to practice. You need to have patience. You need to have grace. You need to persevere. And so some of these things are uncomfortable, right? If we're only in our comfort zone, we're never going to have growth, or we're going to have very little growth. I saw a chart this week and I can't find it, so I didn't include it, but it had a circle of our comfort zone, right? That's the place we feel easiest, right? And most comfortable. And then there was a growth zone, somewhere that, you become better. And those two circles overlap just a tiny bit. Your growth or your appreciation is limited if you always stay in your comfort zone. Those of you who play sports or activities know this, right? No pain, no gain. If you don't practice, if you don't push yourself, you're not going to get better. Those of you who lift weights understand that you've got to push yourself more than you think you can, okay? I have a personal story about this. This is a ninja course, okay, at a local facility. And I looked at this and I thought, there's no way I can do this. I was like, no way, okay? But one day I took one of my sons, my oldest son, and he is a sophomore at Skyridge, and he gets up and he does this like no problem. Like he runs across the platforms, he does the spider wall, and he climbs the net after the trampoline. I was like, wow, that's incredible. And the more I saw him do it, I thought, wait, I want to do that too, right? And so I got up there and I froze. I thought, and fear started to creep in. And I was like, there's no way I can do this. I'm not as physically fit as my son. I'm not in the same shape, right? And I was like, well, why is that stopping me? So I tried it. And guess what happened? I failed. And I was like, I'm a failure. No, I'm not a failure. I just tried, right? I did something I've never done before because I got up there and I tried and I failed. And so I told myself, well, I have a choice now. I can either give up and say, well, I tried once, or I can try again. And so I told myself, I'm going to try at least 3 times. So I got out of the foam pit, I swam out, and I tried again. And I failed again because I didn't reach the goal. I didn't reach the goal if my goal was to successfully navigate through the ninja course. But after that, I felt so good about myself because it was growth. And I tried something and I got further than I did the first time, most times, okay? And so I also felt deeper appreciation for my son who was able to do it. And so I could say, wow, you're awesome at this, son. And I'm not, but that doesn't take anything away from me. That just gives me more appreciation for him. And so I would challenge yourself. You know, if there's something you want to do and you don't know how to do it, there's ways to go about that, right? Okay. So how do we appreciate others? This quote by Helen Keller, I love her story. Alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. She did not succeed as much on her own as she did with help. Okay. Talk about incredible achievement and incredible character. She was deaf, she was blind. She had to learn by finger spelling just on someone else's hand. And she had to do it with a teacher. Her parents alone were frustrated with her, right? Until they brought in her teacher named Annie Sullivan. And so it's a wonderful story of not only just learning, but you know that Helen Keller traveled the world giving motivational talks to everybody around the world. Isn't that incredible? She traveled the world, was an incredible activist, was an incredible champion of others. She is one of my appreciation heroes because she learned that she relied on other people as well. So that's my challenge to you is appreciate others. Okay, we're going forward, not backwards. Michael Jordan, if you know him, he has something to say about this. Talent wins games, but teamwork and intelligence wins championships. Okay, you cannot do it alone. You're not made to do it yourself, but work together and learn how to work together as a team, and you'll accomplish more than you can alone. 1 + 1 = 3. You believe me? Okay, that's what Aristotle said. Okay, all right. So how do we appreciate others? Besides what you see on screen, let's use that chat box again. Enter in ways that you can appreciate or that you can improve others. Okay. So what I came up with was finding a mentor, you know, asking someone, hey, I really respect you. Can you help me learn? Asking for help, right? Trusting others. That means, you know, give them an opportunity to shine. Give them, if you're a manager, give other people opportunities to grow, to accept new assignments, what that might be. Or to delegate, ask someone, hey, can you do this for me because I trust you, right? Complement each other, work together. I see some other suggestions coming in, believing in each other, learning to respect personal boundaries, notice the good in others. Yes, compliments. You really can do this, right? And the feeling that you get, the human emotions that we get when we help others and when we learn to trust others, it's reflective, right? It comes back to you and it feels so good, okay? Acknowledge your coworkers, believing, you know, learn people's names, right? Not just, hey, you over there. Hey, Mary, come help me. Andy, come help me, right? And hearing your name feels so good, okay? Awesome, keep those coming. So this is my challenge to you. Within the next 3 days, tell one person why you enjoy working with them. You can do that on the phone. If you're working the next 3 days, tell them in person. If you have their phone number, you can text them. If you need a little bit extra time, I understand that because maybe you're not working the next 3 days. But I want you to express your appreciation to someone else and then notice how it feels for you and then how it impacts the other person. Because it's not just the intent, it's the impact, okay? So is everybody willing to do this? Awesome. I can all see your wonderful faces, even those you're on screen, nodding your head and saying, yes, I'm enthusiastically going to show appreciation for someone else in the next 3 days. Okay. Okay. Next one. R is for respect. What does respect mean? Okay. We're going to cover that. What are the policy and guidelines from the city? How do we manage difficult situations? Okay. We're all different. That's awesome. Variety is the spice of life. How to respect others who are different from us? Because we naturally tend to gravitate towards people that are like us, not different from us, okay? All right, I truly believe the statement. I'm gonna let you read it. And those of you who are just listening on the phone, I'll read it for you now. The most productive and satisfying work environment is one in which work is accomplished in a spirit of mutual trust and respect. So if you're coming to work and you want to be happy, what are the keys to success? Mutual trust and respect. If you want to be productive and you have a lot of things to get done, what's the key to success? Mutual trust and respect. If you want to be productive and satisfied when you work, what's the key to success? Mutual trust and respect. Okay. Mutual trust means I respect you and I expect you to respect me. Okay. So it goes both ways. I'm going to show you respect as well. Okay. So our policy at the city is this: harassment or behavior on the basis of an employee's race, color, creed, ancestry, national origin, age, disability, gender, arrest or conviction record, marital status, religious preference, and sexual orientation is prohibited. These behaviors would be not respectful. I believe the word is disrespectful. Okay. So as an employee of the city, you treat everybody with respect. That means you don't see people as, oh, they're female, so they're less than males. It's not true, by the way. Okay. Or someone's older, so they're more mature and they know better and they have more wisdom. And so, but they're slow, so we don't ask old people to do anything. That would be harassment and inappropriate behavior. Okay. So is everybody clear on what this means? This doesn't happen very often, but when it does, we need to clean it up as soon as we can. Okay. It's just not respectful. It's not kind. It's not showing the spirit of aloha, right? Okay. So what do you do if you see something or you hear something or something happens like this? Okay. First, the best advice, if you feel safe, confront the person or the situation and put them on notice. What I mean by that is tell them, make sure they're aware. Because if they're not aware something is wrong, how are they going to be able to fix it? Okay. So tell them, and this can be in a private conversation. It can be in a text, it can be in an email, whichever method of communication you feel comfortable, but please address it if you can and if you feel safe. Well, what if you don't feel safe? What if you don't want to do it alone? Hopefully find someone with you that maybe it's a good friend, maybe it's a family member, maybe it's a coworker, maybe it's a supervisor. If you see something wrong, please, 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 please say something. Okay. Tell a supervisor. I'll put my contact information on the end of this. Email me, call me, text me. I don't care. Okay. But we're here to help you. And if you see something that's wrong, we need to fix it. We need to correct it. Okay. And when I say correction, what I mean is restore that safety and that respect in the workplace. Okay. What happens if you do tell supervisor HR that your supervisor and I will work together and resolve the situation? It may not be the same resolution every time, but we promise you that we will step in and do something to help you feel safe. Okay. So, again, respect in the workplace is so important, and we need you to understand how to take care of it if you see something. Okay. Managers, I know there are some of you out there. It's your responsibility to also make sure that your team feels safe. So please talk in a team meeting or a group chat or group me, whatever. Please help them understand that these messages that we want to make sure there's a safety, an environment of safety. Okay. All right. I like this picture and this quote. Just after a good match. Okay. Treating others with respect speaks volumes about you. Treating others with respect speaks volumes about you. So if you're like, okay, what's in it for me, right? It's always in it for you, okay? Always treat others with respect. Okay, we're down to the last letter. E is for empathy. How many of you know this visual reference? It's a picture of a bear and a fox in a hole with dark clouds over their heads. Anybody seen this video? Who's the author of this video? Put it in your chat. Okay. So what is empathy? Okay. We've heard a lot about empathy recently. I think empathy is when you have the ability to feel what others are feeling. Being in touch with your emotions, right? Okay. Empathy sounds like this. Ouch. Oh, I would be hurt too. This must be really hard for you. You're not alone. I'm glad you shared this with me. If you're struggling and you want to be heard, you want someone to feel and to validate your feelings, right? That's what empathy is. To me, empathy does not sound like this. Oh, it's not that bad. It could be worse. At least it's not fill in the blank. Okay? Don't feel that way. Don't be afraid. Just look on the bright side, chin up. Why are those responses not empathetic? For me, it's because they don't validate your feelings, right? They don't acknowledge your feelings. They just say, well, just have a positive attitude, right? Get past it. Ignore those feelings. That's not validating, okay? It shows you don't care. Exactly. Thank you, Katie. So really try to be empathetic. The good news about empathy, let me start with the bad news because I want to end on the good news. The bad news is empathy is not natural for everybody, okay? It comes easier to some people than others. But the good news is you can practice and develop empathy, just like any other skill, okay? And it's easier to develop empathy than it is to win Wimbledon. I'll tell you that, okay? I would have to work decades to get to the level I can to even compete in a tennis competition. Tennis is not my sport, but I have mad respect for people that do. But empathy, you can learn it even starting today if you don't have it already, okay? So there's 4 elements of empathy, and the source that I found was Brene Brown, okay? Author, researcher, and others may have copied her as well. But there are 4 elements of empathy. First, you need to take the perspective of someone else, not your perspective, but see it from their shoes, right? Okay, see what they're seeing and feel what they're feeling. Stay out of the judgment zone. So it's not about right or wrong. You're not saying, well, your emotions are right, your emotions are wrong. You don't see it that way, but just staying out of that judgment zone. Then 3 is recognizing emotions in other people. What emotions are they having because of these experiences, right? Did you know that emotions come after the experiences? Emotions are a way of your brain is processing things, okay? Anger is a secondary emotion. It's not what happens to you first. It's a story that you tell yourself, okay? But that's what your brain does to protect itself as well, right? To survive. And then to communicate. So after you feel what they're feeling, communicate that to them. Oh, this is frustrating. Oh, this is such a hard day, right? That communication helps validate. All right. I love this because I wrote this, but this is not about me. Expressing empathy may feel like you're vulnerable, or expressing emotion may make you vulnerable. But when you're vulnerable and others respond with empathy, that cultivates connection and trust. Okay. Do you want to feel connected with everybody else? Not everybody. Do you want to feel connection with somebody else? You want to have the ability to trust someone else, especially your team members at work, right? You're going to have to ask them to do things for you, and they're going to ask you to do things for them. Okay. So please, please, please try to be empathetic and respond when your coworkers come to you with empathy, because that will connect, connection, and trust. Do I have any fans of the TV reality show Bachelor or Bachelorette out there? Okay. I'll be vulnerable. I watch it with my wife. Okay. We like to, maybe it's a guilty pleasure. I don't know. Okay. But if you know the show, or if you don't know the show, it's a guy or a girl, and there's multiple dates they go on, and they're trying to build connection because the goal is eventually engagement and finding their forever spouse. And there's always something that happens when they go on these huge dates that involves heights, fears, whatever that is, right? When they're vulnerable with each other, they make an immediate connection and they trust each other more, and they usually, continue on dating, right? Why is that? Because they have connection and they have empathy and they're vulnerable with each other. So if this is something that's hard for you, practice in small ways. Practice with your family members. Practice with someone you already trust, and then expand that. All right. I love this. Your challenge. Feel it before you fix it. If your natural reaction is, I just want to fix everything, that's me. Feel it before you fix it. Stop and think about what you're feeling before you try to fix it, okay? And that will create connection. Love this quote by Brene Brown. The energy that exists between people when they feel seen, heard, and valued, that is connection. Let me read that again. Connection is the energy that exists between people when they feel seen, heard, and valued, when they can give and receive without judgment, and when they derive sustenance and strength from the relationship. I want you to come to work and feel like you have a team that you can trust, you can rely on, that you feel connected with, that you get strength from, okay? That's my goal, whether you're at the ice rink, whether you're at the front desk, whether you're daycare, outdoor pool that's now closed for the season, whatever it is, junior jazz. I want you to feel like you have a safe place where you can come and you have strength. Okay. And that requires you to have connection with people, that you feel seen, that you heard and valued. All right. So to review, we have communication, appreciation, respect, and empathy. Write those down on your piece of paper if you still have that piece of paper. And okay, so we're almost done. Questions. And there's my contact information as well. Phone number. That's my office phone number. My email. You can take advantage of that. I'm here for your questions. So maybe there is a situation or something I said today that doesn't make sense. Or maybe you're asking for a friend. Or maybe you're asking for someone that works in another location that's not at Lehi City. Or maybe you don't feel comfortable in asking those in a public situation. Email me, call me, whatever, right? I'm here for you. My job is not to do everybody's work, but to be successful in your work. Sorry, was there a comment that I missed? Okay, so I want you to do this for me. Share in the chat box one thing that you learned today. What's one thing that stood out to you? What's one thing that you appreciated? What's one thing that you will remember from today's training? And put that in the chat box. Thank you, Leslie, for getting us started. Okay. Awesome. This shows that you were listening. This shows that you were involved. And shows that Peter and I taught something that you enjoyed. Okay. This is awesome. Keep it going. Okay. So again, like I said, and like Peter